Bush Radio. Bush Radio.
Your real talk radio.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
You released a poem not too long ago entitled My Lord, Tell Me Where to Keep Your Bribe. In that poem, you said the last hope of the common man has become the last bastion of the criminally rich. A terrible plague bestrides the land, besieged by rapacious judges and venal lawyers.
I don't know whether there's anything I've written in recent times that has gone so viral, as it were. And it was a poem I found difficult to write. Took me 2 days and 2 nights, really. At a point, I nearly gave up. But something kept on telling me that my mind could not rest until I had written that poem. And I'm happy I did. I was reading all the news about graft in the judiciary. Now, as a Nigerian, I know that no institution in this country is perfect. But somehow the Nigerian judiciary has managed to produce some of the greatest legal luminaries in Africa, whether it's Namani or whether it is Aneogolu or whether it's Aguda, Shaw, and so on and so forth. But in the past couple of years, a lot has been happening that has got people really wondering about the judgments that have been coming from the bench. Then the midnight raid happened, and we read about all the things that were found in the houses of high court judges, justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, $390,000, thousand euros, thousands and thousands of euros, and I'm wondering, for goodness sake. And husband and wife. Husband is in Abuja, wife is in Lagos, highly placed, doing money laundering for the husband. It hit me hard. Why? Of the 3 arms of government that we have, that is the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. The judiciary, it may surprise you, is the most powerful, and the most fundamental, and the most important. And the survival of this country depends on it. Not even on the army, but on the judiciary. Because the survival of any country depends upon how that country conceptualizes, practices, and disseminates justice. A judge could rule that the Nigerian president should be hanged, and he will be put in handcuffs and hanged. On the other hand, the president cannot do that. So there is so much power in the hands of these people. And I said, to whom so much is given, so much is expected. We, as laymen and women, have been watching the judgments that have been given, but particularly the election petition tribunals. I mean, we were at a place where no election took place, where there was a lot of rigging and so on. And then lawyers will come and argue back and forth before you knew what was happening. They will say, oh yes, we uphold the election of so. What that does is it demoralizes people in the country.
Unhappy the land where jobbers are judges.
Thank you. Unhappy the land where jobbers are judges, and unhappy the land where judges are also jobbers. That is really it.
Where impunity walks the streets like a large invisible demon.
Yeah, that's right. It is impunity. you get into a tiff with a highly placed person in Nigeria today. He has wronged you and you want to sue. He will say, yeah, go to court. No, I'm not doing it. You just go to court. He's so confident he's going to win because they go to court in Nigeria today to buy judgment.
Has the political class submerged justice?
Of course, it is the political class and the judiciary are hand in hand. Remember, the governors and the senators and so on, whose elections are being affirmed or being annulled and so on, are members of the political class. Look at the person who sits as the president of Senate today. Are Nigerians still talking about how he got to that position? And that person is sitting in the chair today talking loud and long about corruption. It is like a notorious prostitute giving us sermons about virginity. And one of the greatest dangers here again is this. When you buy justice that way, you corrupt the system. The guilty walk away and the innocent are punished. That is a way of getting all people involved with the judicial system in Nigeria corrupt. If you don't want to lose your case, you go and bribe a judge. If you happen to be a principled lawyer who will never do that, you will always lose. Then you will lose your clientele. Then you will lose your dignity. Then you will lose your credibility. All because you are right.
But does this bother you that it's the same political class that is involved in this mess that also wants to prosecute those who carry out injustice in the judiciary?
I know this is the terrible irony we are working with. Not only that, the judges will also be judged by their fellow judges. There are problems here. There are problems here, but this is again where the people of this country come in. We should be the ombudsmen, ombudswomen here. We should be interested in how these cases are going.
Do we still have a role when you have said in this poem that Nigeria is a huge corpse with million maggots on its wretched hawk? They pray every day, they pray every night for the endless decomposition of our common soul.
Yes, a whole clan can never die. There are good people in this country. Oh yes.
I thought you were calling for the burial of Nigeria.
Oh no. That's a metaphor. Yeah, that's a metaphor really, and I think we should interpret it metaphorically, not just literally. No, Nigeria will not die. It's an attempt to prevent Nigeria from dying that led me to that kind of morbid metaphor.
It's a huge corpse.
Yes, those who profit from our faults are like maggots in a corpse. Nigeria is not dead in the literal sense of the word.
You remember you once said it's a huge elephant. Everybody's coming to scoop. By the time there's nothing to scoop, they will turn the knives against themselves.
Oh my God, you've been following. Yes, against themselves, and that has been happening too. It's been happening in our country. Now, people have been arguing back and forth. What is it called now? Rule of law. They should have followed due process and so on. Well, due process is good. Those judges who were taking bribes are corrupting justice. Did they follow the rule of law? Did they follow due process?
But two wrongs don't make a right.
Sorry?
Two wrongs don't make a right.
No, they don't. But there's something called revolutionary justice too. Now, how do you follow rule of law here? This is a letter to you, Justice X. Just to let you know that in 2 weeks' time, we will be coming to your house at 12 midnight to look for foreign currencies. We understand you've been taking bribes. We want to see them. Rule of law. Please sign and get back to us. And tell your security guards to allow us in. It will never happen. Now, there are times in the nation's history when the end has to justify the means. No, nobody would have known that the Nigerian judiciary was as rotten as what we've been having in the past 3 months. It is important that we should know this.
But Nigerians have always suspected the judiciary to be a corrupt institution.
Now we have practical examples.
Bruce Radio. Oh wow.